Good morning, children. I hope all have revised the topic shown and explained in the previous session. Did you see the action? Very common, which we often do while playing cricket. This action set a series of questions. What happens to the speed and direction of the object? What is the maximum height object can reach while the object falls down after reaching a certain height? Here comes physics. You know that Earth attracts every object towards itself because of gravitational force. Gravitational force on any object due to the Earth is always directed towards the center of the Earth. Hence, an object falls vertically downwards on the Earth. You have seen in the first part I had told you about the Newton's law of gravitation, how the apple is attracted towards the Earth, and the same way apple also attracts the Earth. But we saw that the apple falling down. As we know that Earth's mass being extremely large compared to the apple, it has a negligible acceleration towards apple. Gravitational force of the Earth attracts moon, artificial satellites towards itself, but they don't fall on the Earth because of the velocity in which they move along in the orbit. You have heard about uniform circular motion. Now if this velocity is not there, then they would surely fall on the Earth. Now coming back to the action, what can we tell about the speed and the direction of an object? Now as I am throwing an object up, I will concentrate on two factors. One is speed and the other is direction. When I throw the object up, the object moves vertically upwards, speed decreases. When the object goes up, it stops here for a fraction of a second, that means the speed becomes 0. And then it comes down. When it comes down, the speed increases. So we saw the change in the speed. And what about the direction? Once it has gone up and next it has come down. Therefore, we can conclude that the changes in speed and direction produces acceleration. Now this we can conclude that gravitational force due to the Earth on the body results in acceleration, and this is called as acceleration due to gravity. This acceleration due to gravity is denoted by small g, and it is a vector quantity. We call it as a vector quantity because gravitational acceleration due to gravity is always towards the vertically downwards. It moves vertically downwards in a downward direction. Now this sign, that is a vector sign, we all know it is nothing but magnitude and direction. So it is vertically downward, so acceleration due to gravity is a vector quantity. Now we will be seeing what is the value of g, that is what is the value of acceleration due to gravity. We can calculate the value of g using Newton's universal law of gravitation. According to the Newton's universal law of gravitation, for an object of mass m at a distance r from the center of the Earth, we have seen the equation before, written as F is equal to g m1 m2 upon d square. Using this equation, now we will find the value of g. Now I can write it as this equation as F is equal to capital G, capital M. Capital M stands for the mass of the Earth, small m, mass of the object, upon r square, where r is the distance of an object from the center of the Earth. Now we know the value of F. We have learned in Newton's second law of motion, F is equal to ma. Now here this A stands for acceleration, but here we are considering acceleration due to gravity, so we will write it as F is equal to mg. This I am going to put over here. So mg is equal to capital G m upon r square. So this will get cancelled. I will get g m upon r square. Now here the object is situated on the surface of the Earth. That means this r can be taken as radius of the Earth. This I can consider in this way. So I will be writing it as gm upon r square. Now I'll put the values for G, that is universal constant value we have already found, 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11. Mass of the earth is 6 into 10 raised to 24. Radius of the earth 6.4 into 10 raised to 6 the whole square. Now with this equation, 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11 into 6 into 10 raised to 24 upon 6.4, I'll open up the bracket, into 10 raised to 12. Hopefully you're remembering your indices. We'll be using that. .67 into 6 into 10 raised to minus 11, 10 raised to 24 into 10 raised to minus 12. I brought it up, divided by 6.4 into 6.4. I'll be getting 6.67 into 6, 10 raised to minus 11 into 10 raised to 24 will give me 10 raised to 13. 10 raised to 13 into 10 raised to minus 12 will give me 10. This is your simple law of indices, first law that you have already learned. And 6.4 into 6.4 will give me 40.96. Now it will become easier for me to remove the decimal and solve. So if I am removing the decimal, I can multiply by 100, divide by 100. So I will be getting it as 60, 66, 67 into 60. I have removed the decimal, 6 into 10 divided by 4096. Thus if you multiply these terms, you will be getting 400.2 divided by 40.96. Now to remove the decimal, I can multiply this by 100. So I will be getting 40020 upon 40.4096. So if I divide, I'll get the value as 9.77 meter per second square. Therefore, G value is 9.77 meter per second square. Now here in your textbook, once they have written the step, they have given you the answer directly. You can write the answer directly, and those who want to solve and get it can use this method. Now acceleration due to gravity depends only on the mass and the radius of the earth. Now this sentence which I have stated now, that it depends only on the mass and the radius of the earth, will help us to know why there is a variation in the value of G in the different points. This acceleration depends only on the mass and the radius of the earth. Mass and the radius of the earth. And so the acceleration due to gravity at any given point on the earth is same for all the objects. It does not depend on the properties of the object. Variation in the value of G. What are the factors that affects the value of G? In your textbook they have given you three main factors. First is surface, second is height, and the third one is depth. Now when we use the term of surface, what do you think about the value of G on the surface of the earth? Will the value of G be same everywhere along the surface of the earth? The answer is no, because we know that earth is not exactly spherical. It is flatter at the poles and it bulges at the equator. It bulges at the equator because of its constant rotation around its axis. So if I take a point, center C, and if I am extending a line to different direction, I will see that the distance is not same. It is more at the equator and less at the poles. So if I take a line, if I draw a line from the center to one point of the equator, the value of G, I will be getting it as 9.78 meter per second square. And the second line, when I am extending it towards the pole, the value of G I will be getting 9.83 meter per second square. Now this I can prove it using an equation. G is equal to Gm upon r square, where G is a universal gravitational constant, m is the mass of the earth, and r is radius. Here we are not going to take in account the mass of the earth. Now if I remove this G, I will be getting the equation as m upon r square. Now G is directly proportional to the mass of the earth and G is inversely proportional to the radius. Here I will be seeing the relation of radius with gravity. So I will be taking this. Now as you all know, G is inversely proportional to R. We know that as radius increases, acceleration due to gravity, that is value of G, decreases, and it's vice versa. If radius decreases, the value of G increases. That can be seen over here. As the radius increases, the value of G decreases. As the radius increases, the value of G decreases. So this equation helps me to know that the value of G is not same across the surface of the earth. Second, I will be seeing height. As we go above the surface of the height, the radius keeps on increasing. Now as the radius keeps on increasing, the value of G decreases. Now if I represent earth, the radius of the earth is 6400 km. And if I am standing over here, the acceleration due to gravity acting on me is 9.8 meter per second square. Same way, if I talk about Mount Everest. Mount Everest 8.8 km away from the center of the earth. Now you imagine that this radius is 6400 km plus 8.8 km will give me 6408.8 km. But as this distance, that is rise in this distance, is minuscule, there will be hardly any changes in the acceleration due to gravity. Next, if I take an example of weather satellite which is placed 400 kilometers above the surface of the earth. Now this, if I total it up with 6400, I will get a distance of, from the center, I will get a distance of 6800 km. Now as the height has increased from the center to this satellite, I will see that there is a change in the value of G. It is 8.7 meter per second square. Next example I can take of a communication satellite. Communication satellite from the center till this point. Now above the surface, from this surface to this point, it is 35,700. If I am going to take the total distance, that is 35,700 plus 6,400 will give me the value of 42100. That means the total distance from the center to the communication satellite is 42,100. So what is the acceleration due to gravity? Acceleration due to gravity is 0.22 meter per second square. So what is my conclusion over here? I have seen that it started from 9.8 meter per second square. As the height kept on increasing, the value of G kept on decreasing. So I can summarize it in one form. That is, as height increases, gravity decreases. Now the third factor that we are going to see is about the depth. Now we know that the value of G changes as we go inside the earth. We can represent it in this way. This is earth. Now the total mass of the earth, you know that it is 6 into 10 raised to 24 kg. For this mass, the acceleration due to gravity is 9.8 meter per second square. And the radius is 6400 km. Now if I am standing over here, the gravity acting on me is 9.8 meter per second square. Now you imagine that I am digging a hole and I am coming over here at this point. Now let this be my center. Now for this, as I have reached over here, I want to know what is the acceleration due to gravity value of G over here. So I will be considering the mass of this place. So now the radius of this place is this, and I will be considering the mass of this place. With the help of the equation, this one, G is equal to universal gravitational constant mass upon r square. Now here what we have seen is, from this mass, the mass is reduced to this level. That means I have brought the mass substantially down. Radius has also increased. Now as the mass has decreased, radius has also decreased, acceleration due to gravity also decreases. Now you imagine that further I have dug a hole over here and I have reached a point over here. Now I want to know what is the value of G over this part of the earth. You can see the mass has considerably decreased from this point to this point. More the mass decreased, more the radius decreased, more is the amount of G also decreasing. So point comes at the center that the value of g is 0, and there is no acceleration at the center, the value of g is 0. With this we can conclude that this is a combined result. Now acceleration due to gravity is always a combined result of mass and radius. Now as the mass decreases, gravity decreases. Now here when we are talking about the radius, in our previous two cases we have seen that the radius is inversely proportional to gravity. So as radius increases, gravity decreases. So don't have a confusion over here. In this case, mass plays a very important role. From a huge amount, it has brought to a condensed level. As the mass is decreasing in a larger number, larger amount, the value of g decreases. Every planet and satellite have their own mass and radius. Now if you see this equation, g is equal to capital G m upon r square, you will see that acceleration due to gravity depends upon the mass and the radius. Now this gravity, that is acceleration due to gravity, is different for different planets. We can see an example of a Jupiter and Earth. Now this Jupiter is 11 times the size of the Earth. And if you see the acceleration due to gravity, that is the value of g is 24.79 meter per second square in case of Jupiter. And Earth having an acceleration due to gravity of 9.8 meter per second square. But if you consider the Earth and its satellite Moon, we know that acceleration due to gravity g is 9.8 meter per second square and acceleration due to gravity of Moon is 1.6 meter per second square. That means we can conclude that the gravity of the Moon is 1/6 of the gravity of the Earth. That means I can jump 6 times higher on the Moon than on the Earth. With this experiment of Jupiter, Earth and Moon, these experiments we have done so that we come to know that how mass is related with gravitational force and how gravitational force produces acceleration due to gravity. And this acceleration due to gravity depends upon the mass and the radius of the planet or the satellites. Now let us study about the difference between mass and weight. Mass is the amount of matter present in a body. The weight of an object is defined as the force with which the earth attracts the object. The SI unit of mass is kg, the SI unit of weight is Newton. Mass is a scalar quantity, weight is a vector quantity. Now the most important point, the value of mass is same everywhere, it does not change even when we go to another planet. The value of weight changes from place to place as the value of g is not same everywhere, even though mass is constant everywhere. Now to summarize this, I can take an example. Imagine a boy standing on a weighing machine. Now the weighing machine reading gives 60 kg. That 60 kg is the mass of that body, that is the boy. And when I use the term for weight, weight is nothing but mass into acceleration due to gravity. This acceleration due to gravity I have written over here. The force attracts, the force which the earth attracts the object, and it is always in the downward direction. As it is in the downward direction, we are calling it as a vector quantity. So what will be the weight of this boy? The weight of this boy on the earth will be 60 into 9.8 is equal to 588 Newton. Now imagine this boy has gone to moon. So we know that it will be 60 into 1.6 because the value of g on moon is 1.6 and it will be 96 Newton. Imagine that boy goes further to Jupiter, 60 into 24.79. It will be 1487.4 Newton. So you saw the variation in the weight. This variation in the weight is because of the variation in the acceleration due to gravity of the different planets. That is, this is the planet, this is the planet and this is a satellite. Now in your textbook they have stated a statement for Newton's first law of motion about inertia. Higher the mass, higher is the inertia. Now you imagine we are talking about a small pebble. It is in a state of rest. So you have, now as you have to change the state of rest into a state of motion, you are applying an unbalanced force. You may be kicking it. Imagine that you are kicking that object. An object rolls up. But at the same time with that small, instead of small pebble, it is a huge rock. Higher the mass, more is the inertia, that is more will be the state of rest of that object. So more will be the force that you are applying to change the state of rest. As inertia is always measured in kg, it is a part of mass. That is why in your textbook they have mentioned that according to Newton's first law, It is the measure of the inertia of an object. Higher the mass, higher is the inertia.